Welcome to this brief summary of Nigeria's first military head of state, General Aguiyi-Ironsi, here on View Africa 24. I am Kwame Akimfor. Major General Johnson Thomas Umunnakwe. Aguiyi-Ironsi was born in 1924 in Umuahia, in present-day Abia State, Nigeria. Raised in a modest Igbo family, he lost his father at a young age and was brought up by relatives, an experience that shaped his discipline and resilience. In 1942, he enlisted in the Nigerian Army under British colonial rule. Through competence and quiet authority, he rose steadily through the ranks, becoming one of Nigeria's most respected senior officers. He also served in the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Congo in the early 1960s, earning international recognition. By January 1966, Nigeria was in political turmoil. After a bloody coup by young officers toppled the civilian government, Ironsi, as the most senior surviving officer, stepped in to stabilize the country. On January 16, 1966, he became Nigeria's first military head of state. His rule lasted only 6 months. Determined to prevent ethnic reprisals and national collapse, he introduced Decree No. 34, abolishing the federal system in favor of a unitary structure. Supporters saw it as a move toward unity. Critics, particularly in the north, saw centralization and domination. Tensions deepened. Ironsi was married to Victoria Aguiyi-Ironsi, who would later become a respected figure in her own right. Together, they had children, including Thomas Aguiyi-Ironsi, who would later serve as Nigeria's defense minister decades after his father's death. On July 29, 1966, while visiting Ibadan as a guest of Western Region Governor Lieutenant Colonel Adekunle Fajuyi, Ironsi was overthrown in a counter-coup. He and Fajuyi were taken away and killed. His body was buried in a shallow grave near Lalupon. Months later, after political pressure and negotiations, including the Aburi meeting in Ghana, his remains were exhumed and returned to his hometown. On January 27, 1967, in Umuahia, he was finally laid to rest with full military honors. They tried to bury him in silence and haste, but history does not forget so easily. In death, as in life, Aguiyi-Ironsi became part of the story of a nation struggling to define itself. Thanks for joining. See you again soon.